Welcome, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. What do we have coming through in the card today? These two are flying out already. Oh my goodness, we cannot, I knew it. We cannot get away. We're not getting away. This Five of Swords energy. All right, this is exactly, all right, so I'm going to walk you guys through the exact same thing. This card, I guarantee you this card is going to be popping up like hotcakes until we're over this new moon in Pisces, because it's all the detritus on the beach. It's all the remains of that big wave, right? So I'm going to walk you through the symbiology of what we've been seeing energetically over the last 3 moon cycles. Okay, you ready for this? I want to paint a picture for you. Okay? First step, right? First part of the picture, right? The Capricorn new moon, double void moon, lots of clarity, a lot of hard truths, no room for dream space, all liminal space, right? Feeling like the ocean pulls back, right? The energy of revelation, the energy of seeing something with clarity, right? It was a really weird time. Everybody was feeling like a very liminal, right? What did we have after that? We had a lot. Then we immediately, after that double void, black moon, Capricorn, we had the Cancer full moon, double full moon, extra heavy full moon. So you had a big pullback, and then whoosh, all of the emotions, the clarity from the past, seeing something from the past in a different way, all of the emotions in the wake of that experience, right? And then what are we experiencing now? The wave that pulls back to a normal space, and what is left on the beach? What is left on the beach after that wave comes? All of like everything that's left in the wake of it, right? It's like it's working through. It's like a lot of that feeling right now. It's like salvage, right? It's like the like a lot of that work here. And so what's hard about this is also the fact that we have Pluto moved out of Capricorn into Aquarius. So it's not easy, because the things that are feeling that one is finding in the wake of a lot of that clarity and emotionality, you're like, what the heck do I do with this? I don't have anywhere to put it. I don't even have a box for it, because we're leaving boxes in the past. Like Capricorn and Pluto and Capricorn was like, just put it in a box. You'll never have to look at it again, right? Like just like a lot of that, like putting it away kind of energy. Like just put it somewhere. Don't look at it, right? No. We're in Pluto and Aquarius now, so that's a lot of that, like working through energetic complication. Right? A lot of this, like working through complicated emotions, complicated like situations around the self. Now, and this is why I'm going to keep telling you guys, right? The partnerships that are occurring right now, heed my words, the partnerships that are coming together between this Mars retrograde cycle is all warrior energy. Because to go through that, right? Feeling all of those emotions of the past rising up. A lot of the energy right now, if you're in separation and you're feeling like you're being pulled in different directions, yeah, like that's the energy, right? Remembering that the emotions always live in the past. The emotions don't have emotions. The emotions don't know what's ahead. The higher self lives in the head up there. So if you're feeling a lot of that tug, that push and pull between like the past and the present right now, between where the emotions used to reside versus where your higher self is guiding you, I'm going to say this again, baby. You're not crazy. You're on a roller coaster, right? You're not the roller coaster. You're on the roller coaster. So navigating this right now, I'm going to say that this is the hardest right now for a lot of the energy in separation, specifically and particularly because, and this is the gift. This is the gift. If you're feeling a little bit of that, like if you're feeling a little bit of that, right? Like this is the scorpionic energy, as it were, because what are we identifying here? This is the specific situation, because I love the fact that what's happening right now, and because everything I keep getting here is that Scorpio and Capricorn, Scorpio was like behaving when it was sitting next to Capricorn, like because like Scorpio was like, like whispering hints to Capricorn kind of thing. Scorpio and Aquarius are just, they just love it. They love hanging out together. You can't leave them alone, right? Because it's like, it's wacky. Because here's what is happening right now with a lot of the emotions for those who are in separation. Feeling the uptick in emotions, what is Scorpio and Aquarius saying? Not the volume of the emotions. What does Scorpio and Aquarius say? Has something changed, right? So a lot of the lesson that we see that is being navigated right now is the difference between something raising in volume, something amplifying, maybe harder to make it harder, like to move forward, maybe make it harder to like navigate. But the question that you ask is based upon coordinates, which says, has the direction changed? Has something changed in relationality to what you're moving towards? So that's why I see a lot of energy right now in separation that feels a lot. And what are they saying as they move, they continue forward on their energetic journey? Make no mistake, I don't confuse emotions for directions. I don't confuse emotions for directions. And that does not mean that we do not honor our emotions, but we recognize that the higher self, what leads us towards our intentionality, is the space where the emotions, the feeling, the things that the emotions are asking for, and the higher self agree. Those are the coordinates of the self. And we see that a lot of the energy right now in separation are following that map, right? They're following that map in the wake of those emotions. And this is why this is the energy that, again, it's not that we are never tested, but there are moments that can feel like a test, right? And because it's a lot of that work right now, again, in building into that experience of intentionality. So we see even now that like a lot of this, like a lot of this heaviness, right? It's like, this is the energy that says, make no mistake, I recognize the difference between holding emotions for something in the past versus moving in the space of what I know is energetically best. Now, for masculine and feminine energy right now coming into divine union, what are we seeing right now for the energy coming into divine union? This is some testiness, but this is why we see testiness right now, because a lot of this energy right now, so these are the Aries partnerships that are forming right now during the Aries retrograde. The energy coming deeper into divine union right now are the Capricorn partnerships, because they've been repairing something since, again, way back during the eclipse cycles. And this is why this is the energy that says, if we've been working on something and we bring it forth and you have something to say about it, they're like, frankly, it's not for you. Like they go, it's not for you. Our partnership is not for you. The relationship is not for you. This is the energy that says when we create something sacred, we don't hold other people's energy, like opinions, preciously, because something sacred is not damaged in the opinion of another if we hold something energetically sacred. So this is why, again, this is the energy. It doesn't feel like they've been tested. This is the energy that feels like they've had a breakthrough or they've matured, because this is the energy that says that what the lesson that a lot of the energy right now coming into divine union is learning is the recognition of the integrity of the self, building into that space of creating something. And that's why a lot of this energy is like kind of like, like a little bit of this testiness is a little bit of this like bring it energy, because this is a little bit of this energy that feels, I want to say they feel, I don't want to say it's indomitable. It's not the right, I mean, maybe it is. Maybe the word is indomitable, because it's not the fact that they're putting themselves on a shelf. It's the energy that says that they have spent so much time healing something that they feel that nothing is outside of their ability to fix, so long as they have the vector of time. So there's a lot of this energy, again, working through the vector of time right now to heal something this is a sign of some of that energy coming into maturation, right? They're not trying to change something off of a cycle that feels like it's off of alignment to it. This is the energy that's dealing with situations and saying either to people, give them time, or give it time, right? Or we have time, because this is a lot of that energy becoming very methodical, which is again, a very strong sign of these being those Capricorn partnerships moving deep into divine union. A lot of this energy deep in divine union right now, I just see a lot of planning, and I see a lot of work in not allowing, I feel like there's a lot of work right now. And this is the thing, working through there. I just keep seeing a lot of the energy deep within divine union, working through the space of trying to navigate. And this is why I keep seeing here, a lot of this feels less functional for the energy deep within divine union. It feels more frustrating. It feels more like navigating frustrations that, are creating circumstances or situations that it's like this. I got to put it this way. For a lot of the energy right now deep within divine union, I would not be surprised if there aren't circumstances or situations that feel like they're testing your patience. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that, again, some of that feeling of working through the vector of patience. I told you, Mars is in its retrograde. So that ability. So a little bit of this work here, interestingly, is coming through as it relates to navigating through those spaces of being energetically patient, but also being very methodical along the way. It's interesting energy right now, deep within divine union. Center card for today's spread. There she is. Good to see you. It's been a minute. How you been? How are the kids? Okay. We've got here the Queen of Pentacles, and it's upright. I told you. We have not seen, the reason I'm laughing is because I was commenting prior to us starting today's podcast that we had not seen a feminine energy card. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what one feels aligned to. We have not seen a feminine card on the table for 2 days. Just completely not present, They're like, if you need me, I'll be in my mind palace. There's been a lot of this feminine energy right now building into that space. But I have to stress this. I actually feel like this is very important, because I need to tell you that one of the major things that we've been recognizing right now, you will remember, has to do with all of those emotions, right? All of those emotions, as it were, that we recognized and experienced through that Cancer full moon. So I'm not surprised, right, to see the fact, and I have to stress this, this is actually a little bit of a breakthrough right now for a lot of the feminine energy, to navigate the emotional volatility of a lot of that feeling, right? A lot of the emotional volatility that we identified that was occurring with the amplification of emotions via the Cancer full moon. What did feminine energy do? And we were talking about this. We were talking about this a lot as I was, we talked about the fact that often when I'm reading, the Hermit card will not come up, but its presence will show itself. So this is a good indication of what I mean by that. The feminine energy basically went into hermit mode. The feminine energy has been gone into hermit mode the last couple of days. So we see that a lot of that energy right now, a lot of this work is effectively the work of the feminine going into hermit mode to be able to build into that space of coming forward in a place of energetic stability, right? So we see that we actually like this, because what we're seeing right now, and I kind of told you guys about this. I gave you a little bit of, I tried to warn you about some of this energy, not in a negative way, but just giving you a heads up. it's very easy, right? What did we say happens? It's very easy during full moon in Cancer energy to do what? To get emotionally carried away, right? Like the emotions are like, oh, and that's why I said, if you feel like that, give it a minute. I'm not saying that the emotions aren't authentic, right? I was saying that they were getting amplified. So I was saying, just chill a minute, just chill a minute. Make sure that, again, the difference between like the opening up of emotions versus like coming back here. So we see that this is how a lot of the feminine energy navigated that expansion point, right? They became still in a moment that felt like they should be energetically activated, which is, again, that is a Pisces lesson. This is the Pisces new moon lesson, because we talk a lot about the fact that the journey that the Pisces often have to go through, it's not about going with the flow, right? The Pisces energy is really good at going with the flow, but how do we see when the Pisces energy is actually in a space that they're doing the energetic lesson? Learning to go against the flow, learning to go against what feels one is inclined to do towards what you know one must do. So we see even now that this is a lot of the energy of the feminine that is actually working on a Piscean lesson right now via their own ability to find stability at a time that they felt a lot of that emotional overwhelm, right? So that's actually it's good. It's good. It's good. So she's back. It's not even that she's back. It's that she was able, I feel like this is, again, the feminine energy that feels that ability of feeling stable through emotions that would often make one feel energetically or emotionally carried away, right? So that's really like, this is a lot of the feminine that's like, yeah, okay. For masculine energy right now, a lot of the masculine energy, this is more of the masculine being in that space or place of, I want to say, this is masculine being more like more in physical presence right now. We saw a lot of the masculine energy in hermit mode. You'll remember just a few days ago. It is not uncommon for these energies to reflect back to each other what they see upon the other one. So we see now, this is masculine moving more in a space of being in the tangible space as the feminine builds into that place of stability, right? Now, for masculine and feminine energy right now, in separation, I just keep hearing slow starts, right? Why do we see so much of this like slow start energy? Because this is campfire energy, right? When you're building something to last, you don't typically rush that process, right? I keep on seeing a lot of connections that are coming together right now, and someone saying it's so easy with you. But what does ease indicate? Ease indicates a confidence in the self. Ease indicates the work another does to make something energetically easy for another, right? So this is beautiful, because when these energies say to one another in separation, you make something easy. What they're really saying is, I recognize that that is a gift. It's not something that you find frequently. While for masculine and feminine energy right now, coming into divine union, this is the energy, I keep on hearing this energy say, time, time, time. Why is this energy saying time, time, time? Because this is the energy that is leaving some things to time, right? Because this is what we mean when we say, and I need to stress this right now, this is not the energy that sits not doing anything. This isn't the energy that says give it time and doesn't do anything. This is energy that focuses their energy on what is in their power to change. And then they say the rest, again, if there's issues around perception, because I told you that some of this energy was working through some experiences where they had to create some distance because someone didn't perceive something the way that they did. This is like them saying, like, we let time take care of that. You know, like give them some time, because often when you're having a maturation process and you realize that you've reached a certain space where you can see something differently, you say, okay, well, give them, if this is how I told you, they're coming into that space of learning new ways of experiencing compassion, because this is the energy that gives distance, because this is the energy that says distance is the vector through which another can see something clearly. If someone doesn't share the same perception of you, and again, it's because, and you remember or recall those moments that you felt that way too. This is the energy almost doing that as an act of love, right? So we see, and this is the energy that focuses on the sanctity of their partnership in the process. While for masculine and feminine energy right now, that is deep within divine union. I just keep saying that for a lot of the energy deep within divine union right now, this is a lot. This is very much, this is more about building into, I just keep on seeing, taking like the last few couple of moon cycles have been very much in the space of like the thought processes. And I see even now that a lot of that work that's happening here is a lot of energy kind of taking some of those things that feel like they're hard to describe and finding tangible ways to apply them, right? I told you a lot of that same Piscean journey, which is getting energetically productive and not letting oneself to get frustrated, but almost getting more active in spaces that energetically frustrate you. Continuing to get clarification, but next two cards before we start getting clarity on what we're seeing here. Oh, now you're out. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have talked. Like now you see this? I summoned her. We've got here our Queen of Wands, and it's upright in combination with our Five of our Five of Pentacles in its reversal. Here's the thing. Like I just keep seeing a lot, and it's funny too, because this is the energy of the feminine saying, I wasn't hiding. Like this is the feminine energy going, I wasn't hiding. I was busy. Like, look at this. This is the energy going, I was busy. Twice she's come out. So now we've got double queens out on the table. We've got our Queen of Pentacles and our Queen of Wands, right? And so I need to stress this. There's something very important that we're seeing here that's happening with the feminine energy. What do we see that's happening here? Because again, as I mentioned, the last 2 days, we haven't seen any feminine energy cards. And lo and behold, I say that, and who shows up to the reading right now? We've got the 2 days worth of feminine energy cards here. We've got our Queen of Pentacles and our Queen of Wands. So this is the energy that almost says, like, this is not the energy of feminine that has been in repose right now, right? This is the feminine energy that it's being very methodical. This is a lot of the feminine energy that is building upon and articulating. And this is what I like about this. If these are situations or circumstances wherein the feminine was feeling like a lot of that energetic overwhelm, this is the feminine that says no, like, and I told you, this is why it's a Pisces journey. Because this is the energy that says, I don't feel called to do something from my emotions. I listen, right? I look at the emotions. I hold space for the emotions. And I listen to what the emotions are trying to say. So this is this is the feminine that is healing by being able to hold the emotions and introspect upon them before moving in that space of the energetic direction. So we see even now, like, this is a lot of that feminine energy that is slowing things down at a moment that they were feeling the emotional overwhelm to speed things up. And so that's why I see even now, like, this is the energy of the feminine that says, I know that is healing, because I told you. What did I even warn you about? What did I warn you that was going to happen over the last couple of days? The emotional indulgence, right? We have to be careful during Cancer full moons of emotional indulgences. What is an emotional indulgence? It's when the ego tries to say that you're going to do something that's healing for you, but it's not, right? The ego being like, do something that'll feel good. It's for your healing journey. And you being like, but how is that? And then the higher self goes, why? because, and again, it's like that because, and if all the answer is because it feels good, then you go, ego, you can't do that. You can't, you can't, like, that's, no, nice try, ego. Yeah. Can you please take that off? Yeah, it's not, no, it's not. I hate to break it to you, but usually the thing that's good for your healing journey is the thing that you know is the right thing to do. It's not the thing that feels good. It's like, it's the thing that's energetically hard to do, right? And so this is the thing that we see that for a lot of the feminine energy moving into that space, right? And building into that space of like working on their energetic healing, but not just moving towards the space of the emotional indulgence, right? While for masculine and feminine energy right now, I just keep seeing that for a lot of this energy right now, this is a lot of work that we're recognizing and identifying, particularly and especially in the realm of, I want to say, practicality and patience. And what I like about this is for a lot of the masculine energy in this modality right now, I feel like there's a lot of introspection about the past. I see a lot of these new energetic connections that are forming with a lot of this like heavy conversation upon the past, right? Because I just keep seeing that there's a bit of the masculine energy, especially in separation, that comes towards feminine by holding the past with an open palm, right? Because this is the masculine that says, I'm in a space of making peace with my past, and my ability of making peace with it is articulated best in my ability to talk openly about it, right? And a lot of that gift of introspection, I keep on telling you, this is how the energy in separation recognizes one another, right? Because this is the energy that articulates upon those lessons that they've been working through as they come together. While for masculine and feminine energy right now, coming into divine union, everything that I'm seeing here right now is just, it's speaking a lot about, as I said, that space of time. Right? And I can see that there's something very important about that maturation process, because this is the energy that says, that doesn't just move statically in that space. They just recognize what is, like, when we reach a point of maturation, especially if we're navigating situations outside of the self, we don't waste our effort and energy on something if we remember what it feels like, right? I think it's really interesting because, like, I feel like a lot of this energy is looking at something as they come into partnership, and they're remembering what it was like. And they're also remembering what is functional versus what is something that just requires time. While for masculine and feminine energy deep within divine union right now, this is all warrior energy. And what's interesting about warrior energy is there's a lot of this work that I see right now as it relates to, I want to say, like, I just keep on hearing that this is the energy that is working in that context of truly speaking towards counterpart in relationality to like what those long-term future goals are, what that looks like, and how much one has changed along the way. There's a lot of this like really deep, beautiful introspection that I'm seeing right now across a lot of these processes. Continuing to get clarification between our 5 of Swords in its reversal in combination with our 7 of Pentacles in its upright. One card to clarify. Clarification coming through right now with our 7 of Cups in its reversal. So we've got double 7s here. And this double 7 energy is very important because everything that I keep seeing around this spread today has to do with building into, I want to say the best way I can describe this is, and this is why I kept seeing, it's interesting because even before I started the reading today, I kept having to look where Mercury is, which is making sure that one isn't misunderstood. Because again, one of the things that we're seeing that's happening right now, and everyone's feeling a little bit of testiness right now. And something about that testiness, and this is something that I need to take as some homework as we come out of this reading today. I keep on feeling like there's something about this that has to do with where Uranus is right now. There's also, I got to stress this right now. There's a planetary alignment. There's a planetary alignment that's occurring today too, which is, it's more of that same feeling of like high frequency. And so when we feel a lot of that high frequency, it can sometimes grate upon us. Like, I just got to tell you, sometimes it can feel energetically grating to a certain extent. But that's what I think is very interesting that I'm seeing right now, especially for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, is recognizing, I want to say, like what feels like it is coming from within versus something that you're experiencing around the self, right? Like it's like the vibe check, And I feel like there's something about this right now where like some of the beauty of this work that we're seeing, especially deep within divine union, is, being able to like articulate or navigate when something just feels energetically off. Like, you know what I mean? But often when we identify something being energetically off, it's also saying to us that can also speak towards the fact it's not that something's off, it's actually on because it's amplified. So the energy today is like amplified, which, and I'll say this too, if you're feeling more, I want to put it like this. If you're feeling more like you're like testy today, like if you're feeling more like try me kind of energy, I want you to navigate the triggers today. Okay? I want you to take a step back. I want you to be intentional because there's a lot of this here that like it's saying to me, and I gotta check this. I don't know why it's coming through because it feels to me it has something to do with where Mercury and Uranus are placed today. That like it's a little bit of that like try me energy, and that's why that space, like giving someone patience today, is important because a lot of that is like working through that, and everybody is feeling like it to a certain extent. Continuing to get clarification between our Seven of Pentacles in combination with our Queen of Pentacles in its upright. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Emperor card in its reversal. So this is having, I'm going to say this even more so right now for masculine energy. Don't. Listen to me. Masculine energy today. Don't take the energetic bait. Look at me. Don't take the energetic trigger. Remember the difference. Okay? Remember the difference. Okay? I'm going to be your little cosmic mother for a minute. If someone's trying to provoke you, do not indulge them in giving them your energetic provocation point. Because everything that I see here has to do with a little bit of this energy today that feels frustrating in relationality to navigating through energetic distractions. And like a little bit of this, like the thing about it is I just keep seeing that because of some of this like Cancer full moon energy, everybody feels like they got like a little short fuse today. Everybody feels like the little short fuse, like the smallest violin is being given to them. Like it's a little bit of this type of energy today. So I want you to like give that space and assume everybody feels like that today. Meet that space with compassion, right? For feminine, it's like, I want to say, for feminine, I see the feminine right now. And what's interesting about this, especially because We've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands here. These are oppositional queens here. I see like, it's almost like feeling to me like feminine energy right now is trying to like navigate. And this is why I told you that this is so much of like a process right now for feminine in relationality to like where to put patience versus where to put activation, where to put patience versus where to put activation. And this is why it may feel kind of frustrating right now, because for a lot of the feminine energy right now, like this is like having to switch speeds a lot today. Like this is like slow it down is what I'm basically getting for feminine, because a lot of this is like, it's giving me a lot of, I'll put it this way. When it's like when you are trying to do, and this is why I was curious about where Mercury is, because like it feels a little like the energy feels a little slapstick in the sense of like I'm seeing a situation where like you try to grab for one thing, you grab for another, you're like, why am I holding this? You're like, oh, I was supposed to do this, like accidentally, like something that needs pressure versus something that doesn't. There's a lot of that type of energy here today. And so like I can almost see those situations, you pick something up, like it's like when you pick up a brush to like what, like you're like, oh, this isn't a brush. It's that kind of energy today, if that makes sense. While for masculine energy, I can see this more coming into the space of navigating through frustrations, right? Or working in that space of having to navigate things that feel like they test your energetic patience. Everybody just chill. Okay. Everybody just chill, please. Continuing to get clarification between our Eight of Pentacles in combination with our Queen of Wands and its upright. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because again, like this eight, this is why I see so much of the feminine energy today. Like going through like a lot of this like eight of wands energy. And this has to do, this has to do a lot with, how do I best describe this? This is a lot of the clarity of the past. This is a lot of the clarity of the past that I'm seeing right now as it relates to feminine working through healing to a certain extent, of seeing things like from different experiences, seeing things from different perspectives. And what I actually think is really beautiful about this to a certain extent is there's something very valuable and important I see that is occurring right now for feminine energy. And this is interesting because it's happening across the frequencies in relationality to not navigating from a space of feeling energetically stifled. Now, I need to stress this because I'm seeing that this is happening in different ways across the frequencies. For energy and separation, that stifling is the experience of the feminine looking back towards the past. Because I told you something about those emotions, right? Something about all of that heavy emotional energy. This is why some of the energy right now, the feminine in separation, is reorienting how they feel about their emotions, right? And it's interesting too, because this is almost like the feminine. I told you, this is the energy of the feminine actively listening to the emotions, right? Because when we, like, it's interesting about this because like the thing about it is the Cancer full moon, the howling of the emotions that are towards a past that you might not necessarily desire to go back to. So what did the feminine do in not moving through it? Listening, energetically listening to the emotions, tying themselves to the mast of the self, tying themselves to the mast of the self, right? Like to actively listen to what the emotions have to say, right? So this is the feminine energy coming into that space. And this is the energy experiencing what does the Scorpio energy say? I can tell the difference between a raise in volume versus something changing, right? There's a lot of that energy here of the feminine, right? Going, I can experience the weight of the emotions and the meaning of them but not lose my own perception of what it is that I energetically desire in the process. Right? So this is a lot of the energy. I want to say that this is the energy. I got to say this right now, and this is why not all cards are the same. This is the energy that feels like they have passed through that successfully. And I'm going to say it again. It's not that we're ever energetically tested, but this is why the energy is everybody's feeling testy right now, because everybody feels like they were tested if that was occurring in separation. Okay. While for a lot of the masculine energy, exactly the same. Right? This is a lot of the energy in separation that's like recognizing the difference between like being hooked on an energetic feeling, right? The feeling that something creates versus something that is energetically for you. So a lot of this energy is like, they're like, that's why the energy right now, even now, going in separation, coming towards each other, going, you know, like this is the energy goes, it's a lot of feeling, but it's not necessarily the direction that I aspire to go into, because this is a lot of like karmic healing that's happening here. While for masculine and feminine energy that is coming into divine union, this is a lot of the energy that again feels the same way, but this is the energy that says, you can't, like I keep on hearing this energy say, you can't say that. You can't say that about this. You can't say this about that. This is the energy that says that if someone sees something in a way that they say something that feels like it's not in alignment to what they're creating, they give them the gift of space. This is the energy goes, here is the gift of space. I hope the day comes that you are able to see something the way that I do, right? And that's working through that frustration, because it also is like, it's almost like the energy seeing something outside of partnership that they remember. And when you remember something, you're like, oh, I can't, like, you just gotta wait. You just gotta wait. I remember, I gotta wait. Oh man. Well, for masculine and feminine energy right now, deep within divine union, man, I just keep hearing a lot of this energy in divine union being like, absolutely not. Like, I told you, welcome to 2025, honoring your no. But I have to say this here, and this is why, again, there's something about a lot of the energy right now, deep within divine union, where being able to honor their no feels profoundly healing, right? Because there's something about that this is the energy that articulates like a no, because what they're really saying is like, they're not operating from like an abandonment wound, right? Like this isn't the energy. This is the energy that's like working in that space of not effectively requiring, like, I want to say, like, this is the energy that says that when we honor the self, we honor what is not for us, is something I just keep hearing, right? Continuing to get clarification between our Queen of Wands in combination with our Five of Pentacles in its reversal. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now. Now, this is very beautiful because we've got here that Six of Pentacles in its upright. So I love these cards here. Like, I love these cards here in combination. This is a beautiful combination of cards that we're seeing here, right? Like, this is the Queen of Wands with the Five of Pentacles in its reversal and the Six of Pentacles in its upright. And a lot of this energy here. And for masculine, there's something really important that's happening here as well. For the feminine energy, I just keep seeing that these are circumstances or situations wherein the feminine is finding I keep on hearing, finding new forms of compassion. And why do we keep seeing that there's something right now happening with the feminine in relationality to finding new forms of compassion? Because this is the energy of the feminine that says and articulates that there's a space where, like, I keep on hearing the feminine say, there's a space that I can be compassionate without feeling like I have to move away from my standards, right? And that's a lot of that feminine energy that is building into that context of appreciating themselves and their journeys in the process. For masculine, this is a lot of the masculine that's also energetically healing, because I want to show you this as well, because this is also really beautiful, right? This is the masculine with the Queen of Pentacles in its upright, the Seven of Pentacles in its upright, and the Emperor in its reversal. Why do we see this right now? This is the masculine on their healing journey and says, I want to be in energetic partnership with feminine that feels wherein I feel energetically safe with the feminine. And this is the masculine that says, when I am vulnerable to the feminine, I allow the feminine to love me there. And I'm able to build into a context of being able to be my authentic self, which means it doesn't feel like I always have to be the one to kind of energetically hold up something, right? It's that space or state of being able to feel that sense of being one's own authentic sense of self. So this is the energy that has a different perspective on partnership. And it's that is the amplification of why the masculine both heals the self and builds into that space of preciousness. Because this is the energy of the masculine that feels that security in looking at partnership, like creating an environment through which, again, them identifying their vulnerability brings them into a space that the feminine loves them there. And then further, they can grow forth from that space, right? So everything about this here has to do with a lot of the masculine energy, navigating both the protectiveness of that journey, right? And that's why the masculine energy becomes energetically protective of it, because it's a space that they feel vulnerable within, right? Continuing to get clarification between our Seven of Cups in its reversal and our Emperor card in its reversal. And I got to say this right now, like the only thing I want to be very conscientious for the masculine energy today, because the only thing about these two cards here, they can be a little temperamental. Like this is short fuse energy. So just be a little conscientious of that, because there may be some things today, masculine energy, that feel like they test your patience. Can I get one card to clarify, please? Yeah. Again, it's okay. And here's the thing. It's okay. Like, listen, everything we're given, right? Everything that we're given is an energetic gift. And so I see even now that, like, this is why I see the masculine energy. Like, I'm going to put it this way. Instead of letting yourself feel energetically triggered in the moment, let it fortify you in relationality to the long term, right? Like, I keep on seeing a lot of the masculine energy being like, I'm going to use this somewhere. like a lot of masculine energy being like, I'm going to use this somewhere. It's more like I'm going to put it somewhere here. I'm going to put it over here. Like a lot of that, like just moving it into a space that feels more energetically productive. Like don't let yourself be triggered today. Just move it into a place where like it builds into a space of like energetic planning, as it were, right? Because everything I see even now, it's like, I just keep seeing, and I feel like some of it right now has to do in the realm of communication, in the realm of someone either not seeing something the way that you do or having a different perspective on something. Like I said, work in terms of the long term is what I'm seeing right now for a lot of the masculine, because everything I see even now, like I just keep hearing that like time is a very important vector, especially for the masculine energy and separation right now. Because I'm just seeing that for a lot of the masculine energy right now in separation, working through like that vulnerability itself, make sure that you're articulating through frustration, not reacting to it, especially as it relates to new connections. Especially because I did point out the fact that we saw that a lot of the feminine energy right now is in hermit mode, which could, like, that's the only thing I want to avoid right now with some of this energy that I see. And that's why I say right now is not the type of day to like let your emotion, your ego speak for you, because if what I'm seeing is clear and there's been a lot of feminine energy and separation in hermit mode, there could be a lot of room here for someone misreading something that isn't necessarily directed towards them. You know what I mean? While for masculine and feminine energy right now coming into divine union, this is more of that space of like looking at something and giving something energetic time. While for masculine and feminine energy right now, deep within divine union, I just keep seeing a lot more and more of like this is the energy that is building. Like I see even now, it's like not even building here, it's building out there. Like there's a lot of planning today, a lot of contemplation, like not allowing oneself to be frustrated, but just letting it kind of drive forward into focus. Continuing to get clarification between our Emperor in its reversal in combination with our Eight of Swords in its upright. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Six of Cups in its upright. So this, I have to stress this. I know there are a lot of, there's a lot of frustrating cards on this table. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Some of these cards right now, like, and this is what I keep on seeing in relationality to navigating some like places that feel more energetically triggering or working through those triggers. Be patient right now. And I know, I'm just telling you right now, I can see it already. I'm going to go do a little like investigation after this reading because I just feel like there's a lot of energy right now where everybody's patience is feeling very heavily tested and everybody's feeling testy. And the thing is, what's happening is usually with these new moons, we start feeling like a little bit of this like clearing energy that happens. But this is, I keep telling you, this is a messy new moon. Like this particular new moon is messy because it feels like it's having to navigate all of the debris that washed up on the shore after that big Cancer full moon. So being kind to yourself right now, being kind to those around you, recognizing everybody's experiencing this is going to be very important. Continuing to get clarification between our Eight of Swords and our Six of Cups. Pentacles, apologies. One card to clarify. Yeah, so here's the thing. Eight of Wands in its reversal. If you're feeling energetically frustrated, talk about it. Don't react to it. Don't subject another to it. And I know, and if you do, like, just take accountability for it. You know, and again, because a lot of this here, I just got to say, it's more of, it's like there's so much testiness in the air today. Like that's the thing that I just want to kind of, and I want to say, and actually I got to tell you what I'm kind of seeing that's happening here. I actually see a lot of situations today where someone like gets overly testy and then immediately corrects, and in the process of correcting, like heals something in the process, right? Like it's like the self-accountability that like restores something energetically. You know, it's like the frustration that is articulated that then immediately heals something because it is the recognition of the identification point of one's own short energetic temper today. And I want to say that, again, channeling that right now into productive spaces is going to help. Because I will say that there's something about the alignment today, like the intensity of the alignment, that it may be amplifying it. And that's the only thing that we have to be caring. Like, this is the thing about it. Everybody's feeling energetically testy right now. And then we've got this alignment that just kind of amplifies everything. So make sure that if you're not amplifying the negative, make sure that you're like amplifying the positive to a certain degree, because I just keep saying that a lot of this right now has to be in the space of like identifying and recognizing like what that sense of compassion is. And I say this specifically right now for the energy and separation, because I see a lot of this testiness right now coming through for the energy and separation, right? And it can almost be that moment of not taking something personally, right? Not taking something, not, and that's the only thing I want to be I want to kind of give some caution to energy and separation, building new connections here, because I just see everybody's got kind of a short fuse and everybody's feeling a little triggered, and it can be very easy to confuse something. So again, don't assume today. Ask the question, tell someone how you're feeling, and most importantly, make sure that you help them articulate the difference between something that you're feeling versus something that is directed at them. That's like kind of the best way to identify what I'm seeing here. Continuing to get clarification between our Three of Wands in combination with our Six of Cups in its upright. Can I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with all of this Five of Wands energy. So, like I said, it's like, the thing about it is like, I keep seeing it's very much like, and I have to stress this. Oh, okay, I get what's happening here. Okay, so remember how I told you that the Mars retrograde is creating like a lot of this like up down up and down up and down in confidence. Well, there's a lot of heavy six energy happening on the table today. So they're saying to me that there's something about the alignment today that's amplifying and speeding up a lot of that Mars retrograde energy. So okay, thank you. So let me explain it like this. So the way that the Mars retrograde has been happening is that it's been like day, 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 day. So for those who are, I'm sorry, I'm doing hand gestures on the podcast. It's like the confidence goes up, the confidence goes down, the confidence goes up, the confidence goes down. But the thing is because of the alignment today, it's happening more rapidly. So it may be feeling like it's almost like an accordion energy. It's like, it's like going like that. So there's a lot of this, like, that's why it feels more energetically volatile today, because it's almost like they're saying that it's the ramping up of some of that Mars retrograde, like in the space of a day. So it's like it's a lot of that choppiness today. It's like choppy energy today. So again, be intentional and try, like everybody's gonna feel it to a bit today. Like everyone's gonna feel like kind of like testy. So just do your best to kind of like navigate from a place of, like, I keep on hearing talking through it instead of like giving, if you're feeling testy and someone starts talking to you, be like, I just got to tell you I'm in a mood today. Like sometimes that's all you need to say. Like sometimes you just need to say like, I am in a mood. Like in that way, like, because I'll tell you right now, everybody's feeling it. Everybody's feeling it right now. And it has to do with the alignment today and the Mars retrograde, creating like even more of that energetic like amplification point. Continuing to get clarification here between our Six of Cups in combination with our Nine of Wands in its reversal. Our Three of Swords. So I feel like there is a lot of energy right now that is coming, so I'll tell you again. This what's often happens with some of this full moon energy is the full moon itself isn't like the difficulty point, right? Often it's what we feel on the wake of some of these full moon cycles. And so if you're feeling really emotional right now, like if you're just feeling like there's something about like this energy here saying like like look at this, I'm angry and I'm hurt. That is having a lot to do with the fact that we are navigating, again, the full moon in Cancer. So a lot of the big emotions, like a lot of that vulnerability, and then the Pisces new moon, which is acknowledging the energetic hurt, right? So there's a lot of this work right now. Like, how do we heal sometimes? Sometimes, and this is hard because we talked a little bit about this right now with Aquarius energy. We're going to talk for a minute about the benefits and the detriments of the Aquarians, because every sign has like the beautified journey and the detriment of the journey, right? So what did we talk about that is too easy to do for Aquarian energy? Aquarians are masters of disassociating. Why? The water bearer, right? What does the water bearer do? The water bearer can take water, right? Why does an air sign take water? Because what can air do? What is the magical quality that air has? Air can make emotions disappear, right? Logic can go, it's okay. Look what I can do. Logic goes, look what I can do. I can take all these emotions. They don't exist. Watch, it's a magic trick. Boom. Where'd the emotions go? I just shut it off. Where did they go? It's gone. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. The Aquarians, again, what is water? You can't hide. You can't hide water. You can't hide the emotions. And the air can't even hide the emotions, because the air can go, look at me. Look, where did the air go? Woo, it's out of my hand. What happens if you hold too much water in the air? It shows itself, right? So a lot of the journey of the Aquarian cycles has to do with the ability of remembering that ability of moving something, it has to have an energetic release point, right? It has to have a place that you put it. You can't just keep on absorbing and absorbing and absorbing, because inevitably, if not, it's going to rain. It's going to rain. So there's a little bit of this work right now that we see that has to do with a little bit of that feeling, right? And that's why I say that for some, being able to find a productive way. If you're feeling a lot of that right now, find a productive place to put it, right? Find a place that feels healthy, that doesn't feel like it creates like that. Because often when we don't, what happens? Like that's when we have those moments that it's like nothing or everything. We can have those like emotional, this could be this type of energy, and this is a thing we want to be wary of. This is a lot of type of energy where you could have someone coming into that space of having an energetic emotional outburst and then being like, I don't know what came over me, because of all of that, a lot of that Aquarian energy coming into the focus right here. So make sure that you're talking through it. Make sure that you're processing, because it's just one of those days, and we're all experiencing it. And especially though, I need to stress this, especially today for the energy and separation, because I just see a lot of this energetic frustration point for some of the energy in separation, working through healing a heart space, but in a way that feels like healing the heart space, but also acknowledging the wounds of the heart in the process, right? And a lot of that energy that I can see this. I told you, this is like the energy and separation that's following their bliss through gritted teeth, right? And so I almost see something about that, navigating that. It's like, this is how we care about each other, by articulating upon how we're hurting so that we can create those spaces of compassion. Final card, and I need to stress this though, because this is really important today. Remembering the difference between saying how you feel, right? Versus listening to what the emotions are asking for. That may feel a little bit difficult today, because a lot of that is more of that same work, making sure, making sure, this is why I'm saying I need to check out why this is happening, making sure that someone doesn't misunderstand something that you say today, right? Nobody's allowed to be hyperbolic today. Absolutely nobody is allowed to be hyperbolic today. Okay? Final card for today's spread, between our 5 of Wands in combination with our 3 of Swords. Whew! We've got here our world card. So I just want to say, like, there's a lot of this energy here that I just keep articulating and seeing that, like, and this is like, I need to stress this. This, I know with a lot of the volatility that you're seeing in today's spread, it can feel like this is also the type of energy. And this is what I mean about this. It's like, it really matters how you utilize it. It is the type of energy that can disrupt something that's going energetically smoothly. Or it could heal something by acknowledging what one feels as an internal interruption point, right? Now, I want you to understand the nuance of that, right? Because if something is going energetically smoothly and then suddenly you feel like a lot of this like internal conflict, you know, making sure, I told you, what do you do with an egg? You test if an egg's good by sitting on it. like that ability, like being able to be patient with yourself today, being able to kind of identify and work towards manifestation goals, being very, I want to say, how do I describe this? I feel like there's like a bit of this opening that's happening right now for some energy and separation as it relates to some of these new energetic connections that are forming at this time. And a lot of it feels like sharing in a grieving process, right? So I almost see like what's actually happening here is there's a huge possibility for some energy and separation to come into some kind of breakthrough of intimacy today, particularly in relationality to new energetic connections, right? But it also feels it feels like it's like an egg, it's like an egg that's cracking, because it's almost like the egg that's cracking is the acknowledging of the fact that one is in pain. That's why I'm saying if someone else acknowledges to you that they're in some kind of energetic pain, don't misinterpret the pain in such a way that you take it personally, right? Being able to be open and acknowledge it is how we build into that space of compassion. Because everything I keep seeing here, as I told you, some of these energetic partnerships that are occurring right now are like the fundamental like articulation of courage, right? Because this is the energy that is is healing from something in a profound way, but it's not stopping them from moving in the direction of what they know is for them. While for a lot of this energy right now coming into divine union, I just keep seeing that a lot of this energy coming into divine union right now, this is the energy experiencing the growing pains of coming into partnership. And this is hard, right? It's difficult. It's painful when you see something outside of partnership that you wish you could heal, but you recognize that you're no longer in that place. You no longer see something in that way. And you can't give someone your perception. This is why a lot of this energy here is experiencing compassion by saying, give something time, right? While for a lot of the energy deep within divine union right now, I just keep seeing a lot of this energy just in the middle of taking frustration and moving it into something that feels powerful. And what's so difficult about that is like, this is to me, like, this is like the hardest stuff, because this is taking frustration and just straight up moving it into something energetically productive. And that's like that is really difficult, because this is a lot of that energy that, doesn't build into that, like, and I can see even now, like, there's a lot of this, and very similar to the energy and separation, building into that space of articulating frustration, immediate relief, right? Immediate, like, because it's a space of being able to articulate it, that you're able to share it, right? And that's a big message that I see that's coming through right now. Why do we not want to project our frustration? Why do we not want to project our rage? Because when we project our frustration, when we project our rage, we basically articulate and say, you are the cause of it, right? Often it's that miscommunication. But when we're in that space of being able to articulate how we feel, we allow another person to share within it. So I want you to think about that a lot today. Don't think about so much about projecting how you feel so much as allowing others to share within it. Bottom of the deck on this reading, yeah, especially with this Four of Cups and it's in reversal. Be patient with, and that includes yourself as well. So a lot of that compassion that I'm saying here today, I don't want you to be hard on yourself in the process. If you're not perfect today, it's okay. Remember that perfect is always a bit out of our reach, right? And so I feel like even today, like I feel like there's a lot of rumination I'm seeing that's happening. This is some kind of, this is overthinking. This is Pisces in combination with Aquarius. So it's really easy right now to overthink on things, right? To really overthink and get really, really critical on the self. Absolutely not right now. No one is perfect. So I want you to say to yourself, if you're going through that right now, take the note. Just say to yourself, okay, I've got a note for myself. Like write a note for yourself. Be like, okay, this is my note for today. Like, this is what I can do better next time. Don't agonize and get hard on yourself because you do something energetically wrong. Listen, we all and that I told you there's a little bit of clumsiness today. None of us are perfect. Our job isn't to be perfect. It's to be compassionate. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and experiencing it. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can do so on my website. You can find that link on the tree that has links in it. Please keep in mind, if you book a private reading with me, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading and pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is through my website. So I encourage you to do it there. Also, a couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our most recent class on the Hermit. Our next class will be held on Wednesday, February 19th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies on the tarot with a focus on the Wheel of Fortune card. I am so excited to teach this card. It is a fascinating, compelling card. We are going to talk a bit about the history of the card, the symbology. I'm going to walk you through its representation in any position it may appear in your spreads. And I'll also be walking you through a unique spread that is built directly to channel the messages of the Wheel of Fortune into a reading. And all you need to do, if you would like to become a part of that class program, is head over to my Substack, graystrega.substack. With your paid subscription to my Substack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library. You will also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything that we've studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my Substack, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of classes, you will also receive full access to the Tarot Church Library, as well as a free one-on-one mentorship class with me, wherein I will assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage to meet your personal tarot goals. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader, as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Do not let your lack of experience or excessive experience stop you from attending the classes. But even if you don't, and if you are a subscriber to my clock app, make sure that you head over to the subscriber only Discord channel that is available to you as a subscriber. There you will find a very special coupon code that will give you an additional discount to that Substack subscription. Even if you don't become a paid subscriber to Substack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings, services. The world is a crazy place, and that is the best place to find me, given the fact that we don't know what's going on with all of the apps right now. I also want to encourage you as well I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. You can also see each day's full spread there when I post the podcast. Finally, I want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my clients that are seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal growth or spiritual development needs. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits. Also, for my clients seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to offer now dream interpretation readings. These can be purchased on an individual level or as a weekly package. Again, 4 30-minute readings weekly or bi-weekly. For those who purchase those dream interpretation packages, I encourage you to keep a dream journal as we meet. And each time we meet, we review the dreams that you've recently had to find, utilizing the tarot to divine the overarching lessons and symbiology that is coming through in the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. And we will do this again tomorrow.